When we are our authentic selves, you actually give other people the permission and courage to be authentic. Hello, and welcome to the Authentic Wednesday podcast. Each week, my guest and I share our vulnerable behind the scenes stories of giving ourselves permission to take off our masks, let go of expectations, and embrace our own path of freedom and authentic connection. I am your host, Bianca Hughes, a lover of authenticity. Hello and welcome to the Authentic Wednesday podcast. My name is Bianca Hughes and this is episode 73 of the podcast. I am so excited to have you here. Thank you so much for tuning in. If this is your first time, welcome. Just a reminder to you guys, I have this whole new updated website, which is just amazing. I done it through Podpage, if anyone else is a podcaster. And on there, you can leave a voice note if you want to share any thoughts, comments, or any suggestions about the podcast. Also, please, on iTunes, you can just leave your regular view. But I kind of like that new voicemail feature because sometimes we don't always want to sit and write. So if you're like me, just why I do podcasting, is I get the chance to talk. And so this is a quick one today as it is me on the podcast. And I wanted to share something with you that actually is coming up in our podcast coming out next week. I had a aha moment and I shared it also recently on my Instagram. And that's about your authenticity being a gift. So I am really going to share three ways, shall I say, that your authenticity is a gift. Now, if you're like me, when I heard that, I was like, wait, what? My authenticity is a gift. Now I've heard like me being a gift, but not really seeing authenticity as a gift. I think for me, authenticity is a lot about freedom. However, I have been sitting with this thought, and I just really want to go ahead and just share a bit more with the kind of things that I have kind of thought about and realized about my authenticity or your authentic self being a gift, whatever way you want to put it. So number one is the first one, which I have experienced this many times. When we are our authentic selves, you actually give other people the permission and courage to be authentic. People just see and sense that you are you when you are authentic. And if they have ever been a person who has hidden behind a mask or been told they can't be themselves, you just being your authentic self, sharing your truth, which comes with all of that vulnerability and all of that honesty, you are giving people the ability to be comfortable to be themselves. And that is such a gift, especially in the world we live in today, where so many people are behind a mask or thinking that they have to be something they're not, or what their parents or family or society or culture told them they have to be. And we don't always necessarily get our gifts people pouring into our natural ability and our natural gift. And so once we become more authentic, that's a gift in itself when we're connecting. And then when we connect to ourselves more authentically, then, we get in touch with our gifts. So the next one is people, when you are your authentic self, people feel safe around you, because they know you're not hiding behind a mask. Now, I always like to give people the example of my background being Caribbean and especially Jamaican. They're just very honest and very raw, and will tell you things about, oh, your shirt don't look good. What's wrong with you? What you wearing? All of that. You didn't ask them anything, but they will share with you what's on your mind. Now, Most of the time you can deal with it, but over the years, I'm like, man, this is really harsh, especially discovering how sensitive I am. But here's the thing about that. In all of them sharing their opinion where they're not asked, it's consistent. And they are sharing the truth. They're not really trying to do it to be mean, but they're just really just saying what's on their mind, and they're not holding back, and they're not trying to sugarcoat anything. Whereas for me personally, people who try and sugarcoat and don't actually tell me the truth and try and skirt around it makes me very uncomfortable and doesn't make me feel safe. So you being your authentic self, you being your true self and connecting, people feel safe around that because they know that you're not hiding anything, and they feel emotionally safe. They can feel physically safe and mentally safe. So that's something to keep in mind when you are your authentic self. So the last one I have, when you are your authentic self, the world gets to experience the true you. And experiencing the true you means, like I said earlier, you kind of connect to the gifts. You connect to what you're good at. You connect to what you love doing versus what you don't doing. Because when you're authentic, you're just not really going to do anything you don't like doing. But when you are authentic, you're going to pour into those things. And as you pour into the things you like to do and the people you like to be around and the activities you like to do, you will naturally just find those things that you truly do love. And then you will just, whether that's in a career, whether you're volunteering. So for example, me discovering myself, doing my personal work, connecting more and more with myself, asking myself these questions: what do I love doing? What am I good at? Help me find my path as a therapist. I always say to people, I believe I am naturally a therapist, and naturally a healer, shall I say. And so finding that and discovering that meant I was able to go to school to harness those skills. And so now when I'm in the therapy room, I'm able to share that gift with other people, right? And they're able to benefit from that, just from me connecting to my authentic self and really seeking out who I am and what do I do best. As well, it enables people, when you're authentic self and the world gets to experience that, it gives other people possibilities, right? I cannot tell you how many times I have shared my story of really truly finding out what I'm meant to be, and being a therapist is what I'm meant to be. Even like on this podcast, I always get the comments from the guests and reviews like, oh my gosh, you have such great questions. That just came naturally. I was always curious, and then that's been honed in therapy. And then now I can also bring it to a podcast. So you guys are hearing these amazing stories because I'm able to pull it out of people, right? And so that's all from me connecting. And so the possibilities are just so endless in what we give to the world, and what people can get when we are our authentic selves. That is such a huge gift. And so I'm gonna leave that with you guys today. Like I said, it was short and sweet, but it was like a big aha for me, a super big aha. Like, wait a minute, my authenticity is a gift. Being my authentic self is a gift. Wow. It just opened up my eyes. Like, I'm always asking guests, what does authenticity to mean to you? And I'm learning something, and you guys are also learning stuff new too. And so it's just, like I said, like I always say, and one of my taglines and phrases is, authenticity is a journey, and this is the journey that I am on in this season, I guess, and seeing my authenticity as a gift and connecting with it as a gift. And I want to share that with you. I promise you, I just really discovered that last week, and you'll hear it when I'm talking to my guests next week. And so just so you know, it's not something I've known for years, and I just want to share that with you all so you can take that wherever you go. So thank you so much for listening to the podcast. Please do not forget to follow us, or, share with your family and your friends. And also, so I guess what you guys can take away from this, I want to try and give a bit more of thought around journal prompts, because I love giving thought-provoking questions, is for you to ask yourself, what is the impact of me being my authentic self? And then you can also do the question, how is my authentic self a gift? Or you can say, in what ways is my authentic self a gift? And just get very specific. Just think about situations, and just write it down and see what comes up. I'd love to hear from you if you want to share that. So thank you so much. If you connected with what you just heard, please subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. You can stay connected by following the Instagram Bianca Keisha, spelled Keisha, Kesha, or visiting the website authenticwednesday.com. Remember, authenticity is a journey, not a destination.